Moving on now to the second game. It's Uruguay and South Korea. Uruguay has been a really interesting pick in the group with everything going on with Portugal. And we'll talk a little bit about Cristiano Ronaldo a little later. Again, you can find his next team odds on OddsChecker. We just published that article because things are not going well for Man United, but we're talking about the international stage now. Uruguay has a lot of goal scorers. South Korea has a lot of talent there too. You're looking at a couple of different guys to score, just goal totals in general.
Yeah, I think over 2.5, the numbers that were popping up for that for me, I really thought that it was solid. There are good defenders in this game. Do not get me wrong. That has nothing to do with it. But there's so many dynamic players like Fede Valverde, like Cavani can come on and make an impact. Luis Suarez, there's Darwin Núñez as well. Like so many guys that have the opportunity, and that's just on the Uruguay side of things, right? We're not even talking about Son, who is one of the more prominent players in the world who plays for Spurs. I love Kim Min-jae, who's a center back for Napoli. He's also a center back at Korea as well. I think he's fantastic. We also have fantastic center backs playing for Uruguay. This is going to be a fantastic type of game. I do think Uruguay is going to pull out with this, but over 2.5 is something I just like with this. I love the odds that have been being put out on that total. It's not, again, like we're talking about just 2-1 is the scoreline, right? You know, sometimes people just think of like 3 goals in general. But if you just think, okay, what is going to happen with Uruguay and South Korea? Do you possibly see a 2-1 scoreline going in either direction? And if the answer is yes, then why aren't you going? Exactly, right? It's not far-fetched. Then if you're getting plus money for over 2.5, why aren't you taking a look at that? Because I know that people are maybe getting scared off. There's been 0-0s. There's been low-scoring games. Yeah, of course. But you have to take a look at the talent level with some of the stuff. And it's not like we're seeing the most incredible midfield in this game. I think that's maybe one of the weaker parts for both sides, even though there are talented players. But for me, I think this is going to be open. There's plenty of players that are capable of creating and finishing with plus money for just 3 goals. Like I'll take it. I'll take that. That's fine. If they're hooking me in, like, you know what? So what? I don't care about that kind of stuff where it's like, oh, it's a trap. It's a trap. I don't care. I don't bet based on traps or what people think might happen. There's so many damn different things that we could go through betting, right? That we could say this will happen, this won't happen, but it takes 1 game. That's it. There's so many possible outcomes. You got to go with your gut. And for me, my gut says that.
Yeah, I really like looking at both teams to score here. You mentioned it. There's just way too much talent to not see at least 2 goals come in. And I think both teams will kind of break through. You know, if that makes you feel a little uneasy, you can go for over 1.5. Of course, you're not going to get that much juice on it at that point. I really like Darwin Núñez to score at some point here. His form has been fantastic coming in. We saw in his last Liverpool match, he scored a couple of times, I believe. I think it was before halftime that he scored. He has been really rising up the ranks from our OddsChecker data. He is a top 10 goal scorer in terms of how much he's being bet on to lead the whole tournament in scoring. So I think he probably gets off on the right boot here. No pun intended. Actually, no, pun intended there. But I think there's just too much firepower offensively for both these teams to not see a couple of goals go in, especially on a rebound after today. Not exactly the most goal scoring outside of that Spain-Costa Rica matchup.
Damn, you're still here? Good on you for making it to the end of this video. If you want to see the rest of this episode and more awesome content like
The Drive with Jeff Feinberg, PGA Tour event, Live Golf event, does not matter, he has your best bets. Or how about if you need your NFL picks, The Huddle, Pam Maldonado, Pat Mayo, Ross Tucker, and Brian Matthews, your best bets, your best teasers, and everything you need to know that's going on in the NFL. Week in and week out, those are the places to be. Make sure you're subscribing on our social channels to know about our next giveaway. Like for November, $500 on us. All you have to do is subscribe on YouTube to get 1 entry, and if you want to comment on any recent video, tell us how you spend those $500 and you're automatically entered for a 2nd entry.
So get it done and let us help you make some money.